Hey, what's going on, maniacs? You know who it is. Madman here. Damn right. Madman's back. Back with a vengeance and some passion. Nah, in all seriousness. So, I'm sure you guys are probably wondering what the hell this topic is on about. You saw the title, The Truth About Pomade, and you guys are wondering, Madman, I already know what pomade is. You put it in the hair. It makes your hair look any way I want it to look. Pomade is everything. Pomade is fucking life. Pomade, 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 pomade. Well, absolutely fucking not. And I'm going to tell you why. So stay tuned. Okay, so the truth about pomade. Why am I making this video? And I'm not going to do a whole lot of theatrics in this. I don't want to make it super funny. I just want to kind of get to the point on this. So if I'm a little blunt and not as funny as previous videos, this is why. I just want to get the topic out there. And it's because I've been seeing a lot of stuff on the interwebs, you know, social media, everything from Instagram and, you know, and Facebook and all kinds of stuff. And I'm seeing this like over obsession of pomade. And I'm kind of going, what the fuck? It's like I see all these cats that are, you know, talking about I'm a real greaser, I'm this, I'm that, you know, like I do this and I use that product. And if you don't use this pomade, then you're not a real greaser. Or oh, this is the real shit you got to use right here. If you don't use this stuff, you're not a real fucking greaser. I hate to break it to you. Bullshit. And I'll tell you why. But before I do, for those that are just tuning in, this is the first time you've seen one of Madman's videos, welcome to the channel. I'm going to go ahead and give a brief description of my past and a little bit of my history on myself and why I have certain opinions and hold certain opinions that I do. For those that follow, you guys probably already know some of this. For those that don't, well, let's dive on in, shall we? So for those that do know, Madman's been a greaser for 15 years. I got 15 years of experience with pomade, okay? This is back in like the early to mid 2000s when nobody was using pomade. You didn't have all these home brews. You didn't have all these different companies that shot up over the last 5 years, maybe a little more than 5 years, but give or take. You didn't have all these homebrew products. You know, you had what was on the shelf. And what was on the shelf, you might ask? Murray's, Dax, New Nile, Dixie Peach, Royal Crown, Tres Flores, or Three Flowers for others that don't know what that is. Now that's just to name the pomades. And then, of course, for the actual greases, you had Wild Root, Groom and Clean, and Brill Cream. And then, of course, you had your Vitalis and your Lucky Tiger and your Geris hair tonics. Those are hair tonics, alcohol-based. Not very good for the hair. Dry them out. Hate them. Tried them. Don't like them. Won't use them again. Do not recommend. Now, going a little deeper into history, I was raised by World War II era people, okay? My grandmother, my great-uncle, okay, they're from the World War II era. I grew up with the music. I grew up with the whole thing. They weren't greasers or anything like that. And then my great-grandfather was a barber. Now, I'm not a professional barber, but it does run in the family, and that's why I'd like to cut my own hair. And I want to share something very special with some of you cats, a little bit of history. My great-grandfather was a barber in Massachusetts, small town in Massachusetts, in Worcester County, Millbury, Massachusetts, during the Depression era, through the 40s, during the war, into the 1950s. And I found some of his old tools of the trade. Now, this isn't all of them. I'm still missing some straight razors. There's 3 straight razors, a couple of scissors, and some old barber shears that I'm looking for. They're probably packed away somewhere downstairs, but let me show you what I do have. Okay, we'll start with these, or with this. Old school Oster 1950s Barber Clippers. He used these. These are original era Barber's Clippers. These were used on cats back in the day. We got old school barber shears from Italy. I don't know if you can see the Italy part. Come on, focus. And even I can't see it too good. These are pretty damn old. old barber shears. Of course, we've got an old school rubber set shaving brush. For those that don't know what shaving brushes are, you would have your shaving soap in your cup. You would take it and do all this. Shaving brush. A pair of old school John Oster hand clippers, little clippers. I don't know if you guys can see, there's some rust on the inside, but here's where all the markings and stuff are. Probably blurry, but old school hand clippers. Cats would have, this is how they used to do it back in the day. And here we've got another pair of old school Oster, John Oster hand clippers as well, the bigger ones. And as you can see, I think it's a little bit clearer on the inside. Right there, and then it says Oster Model B. I think you guys can see that. And how these would have been used back in the day is with a comb, especially for, you know, fades and tapers, mainly tapers back then. And they would have done the hair, and they would have clicked them. These were done by hand. Okay, this is what my grandfather used to do. I was told by my father, who used to watch him work in the barber shop, that they once had a bet. There was a guy from out of town. He needed to catch a bus, and he needed to have a fast haircut and a shave. And they said he couldn't do it in time. There was bets going. He did it in 3 minutes flat. Shave and haircut. A little trim up and the whole bit with a whole shave. And I still have an old school strop and some old school straight razors that I can't find, but I'll be looking for them, and when I can, I'll let you guys know. But apparently he won the bet. He did it real quick. He did it real fast. He was very, very fast. He was always known for moving constantly. He'd be talking to you, working, clipping, doing a thing. He did it old school. Started with these and then moved up to the automatics. And as you can see, the wire has been cut because, well, these shorted out some years back. These are very, very old. I don't know what they're worth. I haven't looked it up. If there's any collectors watching this, don't message me about wanting to sell them. I'm not selling them. These are part of my namesake. These are part of history. I intend to keep these. I intend to make some kind of display cases and put them in. And when I can find the old straight razors and the strop and all that, that wants to go with it. So I'm not selling them. Don't ask me. You dig? But moving forward. So since I've been seeing so much infighting about pomade, I'm seeing this over-obsession about pomade and hair products and hairstyles. And if you don't do it this way, this ain't the real shit. You don't use that. You don't use this. It got me thinking. It got me thinking to my era when, you know, I was doing the greasing thing. When I was in high school, all the friends that I had, all the hardcore greasers that I knew. You know, and I don't remember any of us actually talking a whole lot about pomade. So they got me thinking. I decided to ask my dad because he grew up on the East Coast, moved out to the West Coast in Long Beach, California in 1957. So we're talking East and West. It's a pretty wide range of people and interactions. And I asked him, I said, do you remember anybody, you know, the greasers in the family, you know, up at Old Herrick's Lane, do you remember any of those guys or anybody in town talking about pomade? Do you remember them talking about, you know, hair tonics or complaining about it, saying, oh, if you don't wear this, this ain't the right thing, and this ain't good, and you shouldn't wear that, and you shouldn't use that, and da-da-da-da-da, you're not real if you don't do that. He goes, no, nobody gave a shit. And that reminded me of my era, because nobody gave a fucking shit. You cats want to know the extent of the conversations that me and my friends had about pomade and how much it really mattered what pomade you use? I'm going to play a little clip from The Sopranos. Roll 'em.
I'm having good luck with Swiss Basics moisturizing formula. Yeah, I'll try it.
Yep, that was about your average conversation on pomade. All the greasers, all the real hardcore greasers I knew. Guys I grew up with. I guarantee you, nobody was talking about pomade. It just wasn't a thing. Everybody used it. Everybody used different products. You would talk about it a little bit here, a little bit there, like you saw in that clip. It'd be, oh, hey, you know, everybody's using Murray's Superior. And all of a sudden you see the Dax Red Can. Hey, what's that? Hey, it says Dax Red Can. Well, what's it about? It's kind of like Murray's Superior, a little bit less of a hold, but it's been working nice for me. Huh, think I'll pick some up. And that was pretty much it. So to get to the real heart of the matter, it doesn't really matter what kind of pomade you're using. Okay, whether you're, you know, and you can apply the same the same philosophy to anything in life, okay? Why do they have Ford? Why do they have Chevy? Why do they have Dodge? Why can you go to the grocery store and you can get Fruity Pebbles, or you can get, you know, the Lucky Charms, or the Cheerios, the Honey Cheerios? Why can you get different loaves of bread, different types of bread, pumpernickel and white and wheat and, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's called, wait for it, preference. Holy shit, it's a new fucking thing. It's called a preference. Everybody has a preference. Now, yes, I cover pomade reviews and hair tutorials, okay? And I've used a lot of different pomades over my years. Not so much of all this. I haven't got caught up in the, wave of the, home brews and all that stuff. I've used some newer things and some things I really absolutely love, but I love them for specific reasons, for specific hairstyles. The truth of the matter is, pomade is a finishing product, okay? Whatever pomades you like to use, you use them to finish the hair, to finish up the style that you're going for. And God knows there's a lot of different styles of pompadours and elephant's trunks and old 50s hairstyles. I'm not getting into that right now. I've got videos that cover it. Go watch it. I don't put them up for my health. I put them up for you. Any of my old school cats out here that are watching this, any of the guys from my era, you guys all know, nobody was bitching and complaining about pomade or hair grease or hair tonics. You used what you used, and you had a specific reason for using it. I'm not saying for a lot of you younger cats that are getting involved to not explore. You got to explore. You got to find out what's going to work for you for certain hairstyles. I like to use different products for different hairstyles because I know that each one has specific properties that I want to use for certain things. So then I use it, I do it, maybe I cover a review, maybe I do a hair tutorial, and then I shut the fuck up about it. So essentially, for all you younger cats that have these 90-day wonder cats that started a channel or running their mouth on Instagram or whatever about, oh, this is the real shit you got to use. This is the best stuff ever. If you don't use this, you're a fucking poser. Don't listen to them. If you like to use a certain product, use that product. You have to ask yourself a couple questions. Do you like that product? Do you get it at a good price? And does it do what you want it to do? If the answer is yes to all those things, then use that shit. So for all you young cats out there that are getting persuaded by all these 90-day wonders that have no fucking idea what they're on about, oh, if you don't use this, you're a poser and a bitch, and this is the real shit, and if this is yeah, go read your fucking ACE training manuals and keep being a fucking never was been. I'm not even going to say a has been. You ain't even a has been. You never was. But anyway, here's the thing, man. Use what works for you. If you get the hairstyles, you have a certain hairstyle you want to do it. And if it comes out the right way and you use a certain product, use it. That's why we have different brands of different things, because everybody's hair or whatever it is. This isn't even so much about hair. It's about life in general. You can apply this to everything in life. Everybody has different needs and wants, okay? Not everybody's hair is the same. Not everybody's self is the same. Just because I use a certain product does not mean that if you use it too, it's going to come out the same way. It doesn't work that way. Your hair type, the way it swirls, the pattern, all that stuff, it's different. You're not me, I'm not you. We're individual. And that's okay. Some advice I will give to some of you younger cats that are not sure what to do with your hair. I've stated some of these things in videos over and over and over, but it doesn't seem to be catching on because everybody, again, is obsessing about the wrong things, and I'm here to try to set it straight to show you the right way. Use it as reference. I've always said, haircut first. Fuck the pomade. Fuck the hair grease. Throw the shit in the garbage. Haircut first. Get your hair cut first. If you don't cut your own hair, I do cut my own hair. I know how my hair goes. I know what it needs. I know what I want to do with it. If you're not at that level, that's okay. Go to a master barber, okay? First thing, go to a barber that you've been going to all your life, or maybe find one in your area that's got good recommendations, good reviews. Remember, if you got greasers in your area, rockabilly hip cats, the guys that get their hair done, ask them where they go get their hair cut. Everything is by word of mouth in this subculture, okay? Ask them. Go to that barber. Tell them what you're looking for. Let them work your hair a bit. They'll figure it out real quick what your hair is all about, and then they can recommend you products. They can recommend certain hairstyles for you. Now, for my older cats, the ones that are my age, much older, down to the original era, I don't have to tell you guys this. You already know this, okay? But this is a lot of it's for the younger cats. And I see them getting caught up in all this debate and all this bullshit from people out there running their mouth that don't really know what the hell they're on about. Again, my era, we used pomade. We used hair grease. We used combinations of different things for certain hairstyles. And nobody was going on with a detailed tutorial about how to do it. You learned by experimenting. And nobody dumped on each other for using certain pomade. I mean, nobody was dumping on me for using Wild Root. And I wasn't dumping on anybody for using like Dixie Peach or Brill Cream, you know, if they were using it. It wasn't a big discussion. We were into actually being greasers, living the damn thing, going to shows, interested in the music, wanting to be a part of it, going to the hot rod shows, wanting to meet other cats, looking at the history, you know, out having a good time, living life. Before texting and cell phones were a big fucking thing. Nobody was texting in my day that I ever remember. You know, we're out going about, running the streets, having a good time, living life. Being friends, having real human experiences, not sat there on a fucking phone all day and, oh, you don't know me, bro. Shit, just because I like to use doesn't make me a poser. It's like, come on, man. That's not what the shit is about. Oh, shit. I'm going a little bit overboard. Let me pull it back down. I know it probably comes off a bit aggressive and a little over the top. I just want you guys to do good. For all the younger cats out there, don't sit there and worry about 90-day wonders telling you, oh, this is the real shit and you're a poser if you don't use it. It ain't fucking true, okay? You know, it really comes down to like a video I covered before. I covered it towards the beginning of my channel, which has been, it's been a minute. Brands, you know, brands of clothing, greaser brands of clothing, you know, what they wear. If you guys hadn't seen that video, I'll link this at the end of this video. You can check it out. It kind of goes hand in hand. It's the same idea, the same message. But again, I've been seeing so much obsession with hair and pomade and even clothes. You guys are missing a whole fucking point in general. There's a lot of different things that make this up. It ain't one little thing. It ain't fucking hair. It ain't pomade. It ain't just clothes. There's music. There's cars. There's attitude. It's culture. It's old school 40s and 50s and 60s American culture. You got to understand that first. The generations have gone on and new things have come in. I know that. There's new pomades, new brands, new this, new that. But it doesn't matter. Use what you like. Real greasers aren't hating on you because you like to use a certain pomade or a certain hair grease that other people are saying is bullshit. Ugh. Okay, so, anyway, rant over. It's been a time, hasn't it? If you don't know, get a clue, get a brew, get a rock and roll tattoo. Hang loose, be safe, go out, live your life, be a greaser, have some fun. Don't get caught up with the bullshit and the debating and the arguing. It's Nowheresville. Do you, be a greaser, and have a good time. Madman out.